So many beautiful faces. I'm actually really nervous. So, so with myself, Oakwin, the Women of Oakwin Committee, we are just so excited to be able to be in the presence of you agents, especially to be able to let you rise up and own your true potential. So today's session is all about owning your true potential. And I want to walk you through today through my personal brand journey, and more importantly, creating your personal brand narrative, and even just targeting your ideal target market. And so what I'm going to ask before we get started from you is to turn off your cell phones and just make sure that you have a pen in hand, because we're going to be doing some group work, and we're going to be doing some group work with each other. Yeah. And I want you to give yourself some permission today and some space for the next 60 minutes to really connect with yourself. So if someone's calling on your cell phone, it's okay, it's Friday, there's no offers happening until Tuesday, so you just give yourself permission for this time to take care of yourself and reconnect with yourself. So let's get started. So just a little bit about me. In 2003 is when I got my license, and I started with a really large, working for a really large development company that's local. And I started off in a sales coordinator position. Quickly, I think the management really liked my problem-solving style and my managing conflict style. So I quickly, within a year and a half, got promoted to a sales manager role, becoming one of the youngest sales managers with probably the most number of transactions in 1 year, because I just kept saying yes to every project that I was offered. And very quickly from there, I actually was kind of built a reputation in the business as a master negotiator and a master communicator. Anytime a project required like price increases or price decreases or a change in marketing strategy, I was very, very vocal and direct with my instructions and with my needs and wants with the developer. And so I got headhunted by a sales and marketing company. And from there, they actually offered a signing bonus. They threw in a motorcycle. For real, yeah, they threw in a motorcycle. And I was actually on one of the biggest projects, which actually, Rob, I worked with you. That was in 2007. I haven't seen him since 2007. And we had such a fantastic time. We had record-breaking sales, selling 300 units in 48 hours. Wow. Yep. There was probably a team of 6 of us. Yeah. And from there, I plucked up all my courage, mustered all my courage, and decided to start my own project marketing company, which is now called the West One Real Estate Marketing. We provided a series of services from resale to pre-sale to creative branding to sales training, marketing management services, to customer service and creating that experience when they came to possessing their home after a few years of waiting. And the cool thing about this experience is that some of the buildings that you sell right now are some of the buildings that I've named. And the most coolest experience I've ever had was sitting on panels, trying to select and help the developers select like art pieces that go in the lobbies, that go on the doorsteps of some of the driveways that you're driving past. So that was probably one of the best experiences and most fun that I've ever had as part of that full suite experience. And so you think that, from all of that, like I've had a lot of accolades, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of recognition. The one thing that was totally out of the box was in 2019, we actually found a Canada Post truck in Ottawa and drove it across Canada and rewrapped it to sell 28 townhomes out of this truck. So instead of the buyers coming to us, we drove to the buyers and basically sold out of this townhome, out of this series. And you know how hard, some of the pre-sale sellers, Yvonne, Rob, you know how hard it is to sell a townhome out of basically just a display board. So this actually saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars of marketing, because Vancouver Sun, the province, there's tons of, Georgia Strait back then, they were wanting for us to be featured in some of their articles. So they were begging us to be part of their ads and strategy, and so they gave us a lot of freebies to be exposed on some of their digital and traditional assets. And then from there, in 2022, so many people came up to me and asked, how did I do what I was doing so well? So I said, you know what? I'm just going to share it with everybody. So I started In the House podcast. And that has created so many meaningful connections with you guys, like agents like yourself. And then thinking that I've already done what I could all do, in 2022, I then opened a brokerage. And this probably was the most, my biggest dream came true. What you don't see are actually tears running down my cheeks. And you guys are witnesses to that, some of you who came. Tears running down my cheeks. I wanted to find the biggest scissors I could find online to buy and cut the ribbon with the mayor of City of Burnaby, and next to Arlene as well, and next to Michael. And so I couldn't believe that. I just, it was my biggest dream come true. So as a result of all this work, my brand expanded beyond the industry. I had CTV Global asking me to do some spotlights with them. I had magazines wanting for me to write articles for them. I also, got spotlights on radio stations, and it just really had this ripple effect of people wanting me to be featured on their platforms, which was awesome. So with a raise of hand, how many of you would like to have a brand like this? Yes. Okay, and how many of you would like to have a career like this? Okay, awesome. Well, I'll tell you what it takes. So I'm going to go back to where I started. In 2003, I got my first gray hair. That was the first time I've ever been on 100% commission. So I started exactly where you were at before. You were on payroll. I had a steady job. And the first time, I probably didn't make a sale for the first couple months. Okay, because I was a sales coordinator. I was probably making less than what I was doing in my full-time job. And then what happened was in 2007, you know how I shared record-breaking sales? Okay. I had to work, I think Rob can remember this, working 15-hour days, 7 days a week, 3 months straight. We were basically runners and slaves to the whales of agents, and running around the city getting initials. There was no DocuSign back then. We literally had no days off for 3 months. The last deal, we shut the doors. I isolated myself for a whole month. I didn't want to talk to a single person because I was just burnt out. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And on top of that, conveniently, the developer fled the country. So I never got my signing bonus. I never got my motorcycle. I was hoping for girlfriend of the year with the motorcycle. And on top of that, I didn't get a single cent. I didn't get paid a single penny off the 300 units. Oh my gosh. Rob, remember that? He's confirmation with that. I'm not exaggerating here. In 2009, I said, I'm never going to experience that again. I'm going to write my own checks. So I started with my real estate marketing company. At the peak of my career here, I probably sold and moved about 1,000 units a year, for 3 years straight. But the only thing I remember from that experience is me driving home, trying to drive home. I had to pull off to the side of the road and take a 20-minute nap. I completely, basically, I was exhausted. There was no way I could perform this way, even with a team. And so in 2019, 10 years later, 50 projects under my portfolio. What you don't see behind the scenes in pre-sale are disagreements around the boardroom, and the builder consistently telling you if you're actually good enough, if you have the ability to deliver the results. And then I'm consistently thinking, am I good enough for this job? Am I good enough for this project? Okay. So then in 2020, truth be told, In the House podcast was actually birthed because of a COVID project. In this moment, I was thinking of quitting real estate. I was wondering, perfectionism, which I thought was once my strength, it became a detriment to my business. And on top of that, I wondered if moving a little T on a marketing brochure actually mattered in my life. And then in 2022, 52 hair dyes later, okay, I was so happy in that moment, but what I was thinking and experiencing was self-doubt. I was wondering if I could service my agents the way I serviced my clients. And so from all of this, when you start helping others, people start to take notice. Okay, it doesn't take 20 minutes in your business. It doesn't take 20 posts in your business. It takes 21 years of an uphill battle. And anything that's worthwhile is always uphill. And so I want you to take, if there's anything that I want you to take away from this presentation today, there's one lesson that I learned out of all of this, is that I was always enough. And you, anything that you need to succeed with is already all in you. That you are enough, and that you are enough, and that you are complete as you are. And so with that in mind, let's start to begin talking about personal branding. Is personal branding making some custom Christmas cards with your logo on it? Is branding putting your logo on a charcuterie board as a homeowner's gift? Or is personal branding putting your name on a pen? Is personal branding putting your bus bench at the corner of a high traffic area? Is personal branding writing articles month after month hoping someone's gonna call? Is personal branding creating postcards and mailing it and farming it in your neighborhood? Is personal branding winning Best Realtor of the Year? And is personal branding taking a picture with a mayor? And before you cancel me out here, because for some of you that don't like him, this was a picture before he was a mayor. And so I'm going to redefine, today we are redefining brand. Okay, so turn to page 2, or the one with the black image at the very top. So all the things that I gave you examples for, the fonts, the colors, the texture, the graphics, those are just tools or accessories to give information to your client, to give information to attract your target market. And brand, though, brand is a different definition. It's how that information makes you feel. So the first blank lines, brand is the experience that other people have of you. That is the new definition. Each interaction you have with others have the opportunity to create a memorable experience, teaching them what they can learn from you or discover about you, because really you have to share with them what you want to offer. And so let's take a look at how that impacts your business. 67% of Canadians would be willing to spend money and products, in fact, more money and products and services whose established brand aligns with your personal values. So what does that mean, really? It means that who you are, Elaine, matches who you are. It's who you are matches with who you are, right? Yes. Hi, Amy. And so what are the results when you build a personal brand? Okay. 62% say, oh, this is wrong slide here. Okay. 63% will buy from you. 57% will recommend you when you have a personal brand. And 55% will do business with you. And if all this fails, at least 29% are willing to date you. Okay? I mean, it's happened to everybody, right? Like, okay. All right. Well, remember, personal brand is who you are matches who they are. So we just have to find out who you really are, right? Easy. Well, how do we get started? First, it starts with thoughts. Okay, and that's going to be probably one of the sentences you have to fill out. It starts with thoughts. What you think about yourself, what you think of you, your business, your energy, your presence, your self-awareness, your motivation, that's all your thoughts. But the problem is that no one can read your mind. So the only way to show it is through action. You have to do what you think and what you feel. Make sense so far? Yeah. And then you have to also say what you do. And this is where the design piece comes in. So authenticity is the intersection of your thoughts, what you do, and what you say. So just give an example here. There's a lot of realtors who probably post that they've been working really late till midnight, or that they're 2.1% top producer. Next time, before posting that, really think about, how does this emotionally drive my client? How does this benefit my client? And if I was to give another example, like Nike. Nike had a sales volume of $52 billion last year. But they don't advertise that they made $52 billion last year. What they advertise is inspiration and empowerment. But that no matter what gender you are, no matter what age you are, no matter what height you are, no matter what disability you have, that you are an athlete, right? So when we come back to working with your clients, the one thing as a real estate professional that you should be doing is that you tell people that everyone deserves a home to live in. Does that feel right? Does that sit right? Yeah? Okay. So how do I master brand brilliance? It starts with consistency. What you do, what you say, and what you think, what you do, what you say has to match and be consistent. And then you have to be very clear and direct with your message. Your clients have buyer fatigue. They have seller fatigue. So they don't want to have to think more than they have to. You have to make it easier for them to make decisions by being the leader in that relationship. The next thing is you have to care. They have to know that their values are seen and heard. And then what happens is curiosity. Curiosity happens when you're triggering those emotional drivers for a client. And the number one thing right now everybody's trying to master is engagement. Engagement online, engagement in person, make that connection, right? But if you are tapping into their values, then there's natural engagement. It's not coming off as salesy, it's not coming off as pitchy, it's not coming off as manipulative. And naturally, what happens is there's client creation that happens. And it just cycles over and over and over again. So here are 3 ways that I have claimed 3 ways that I've grew my brand. Number 1, I claim my authority. I genuinely and authentically spoke about things that I really cared about. So for example, safety is my number 1. So I got involved with Block Watch in my community, and I also am on strata for every property that I own because I care and I want to be a better realtor. And I genuinely care about the building and about the community. I also invested in social capital. 1 coffee, 1 smoothie date, 1 conversation turns into a meaningful connection. And naturally, when you care about somebody, you end up being talk-worthy because someone feels, they feel heard and they feel seen, they feel that they're experiencing a great value of connection, then they're going to, in turn, refer you. And so I just want to remind you that whoever you are, the things that you believe in, your story is enough. Who you are inside here is enough. Okay? So yeah, going back to the last couple sentences here. Your brand becomes your personal calling, a unique promise of values, a distinct and true representation of you. In building your personal brand, you will define your individuality, maximize your strengths, and manage your choices to create future opportunities. So the next exercise, company review. Does anybody need me to repeat the answer? No?
And everybody have pens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll go over it together again. Okay, we're gonna go to company reviews, and we're gonna have a couple of exercises here. So we're gonna start with number 2 because of the order of our slides here. We're gonna name the company, we're gonna name the hashtag or the header or the tagline that they're using. Thank you. What impression did you get from the video? And how does this brand value behavior work, support their impression? So let's give this a try. Oh, it did work. Yes. Hopefully.
In the news tonight.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So what is Nike's message there? Does anybody want to volunteer?
Like,
Yes.
are we framing the narrative? Like, control of stereotypes?
Yes.
Negativity?
Yep. Exactly.
Be brave.
Be brave. Yep. Be brave.
It's inspirational. It's extremely inspirational. It makes you feel like, you can do it.
No matter what sport or what, how you react, you're human. You got human skills.
Just do it in your way. Just do it in your way.
Just do it in your own way. Yeah, be yourself. Yeah, be yourself. And so, pie. So the first step in building your personal brand is to figure out who you are, right? What your story is about and what you want to be known for. And I see there's quite a bit of similarities to what we're challenged with in personal branding. A lot of us have confidence issues, trying to be consistent, something that really stands out of the competition, even some constant evolution. As you saw in my 21 years, I was a different person every single year. How do I keep up with personal branding? So I'm going to give you 5 to 8 minutes to complete the 3 questions. What are my strengths? The second question, which I actually don't like the word weaknesses, so cross that off, please, and write down growth opportunities to explore. And then the third question is, what are my core values? What do you want to be known for? So I will give you about 5 to 8 minutes. You can fill out maybe your top 2 to 3 answers, and then we will have some share after. Okay, so what we're going to do next is you're going to find a partner, and you're going to face them. Find yourself a partner and face them. Face them. Turn your chairs to each other. Turn your chairs to each other. You're getting real deep. You're getting real deep here. How are you? I didn't see you come in.
I'm on a cookie run.
Oh, geez, okay. No, we need everybody to be silent in this exercise. Quiet, guys, quiet. Quiet. Like this is, Zen here right now. Zen. We're gonna stare at each other in your partner's eyes right now, okay? So I wanna invite you to do this 2-minute exercise with me. And the purpose of this exercise is to deepen connection with yourself and with the partner that you're partnered up with right now. A large amount of communication is often nonverbal. And so a lot can be said without really saying anything. Okay, so we're going to practice this. This exercise is really to feel witnessed and be witnessed. So let's start by getting grounded with both feet on the floor. And there's some movement there.
Is everybody good?
Is everybody good with a partner? Yeah? Yeah, I think so. It's good. So no talking, guys. No talking. No talking. Nina, you're talking. No talking, guys. Okay, is everybody settled? I want you guys to stare at each other, and not at me. And you're going to take a deep breath in. 2. Oh, no, wait. Rob, who's that? Trouble. Oh, you too. Come on. All right, you're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and a breath out through your mouth. And you're not going to say anything. As you look into your partner's eyes, give them thanks by their willingness to participate. Regardless of the years of experience they've had, there's something to be learned from this person in front of you. Thank them for their courage for showing up today. The person in front of you has a unique story to share. The greatest gift we can ever give someone is our attention. how do you feel giving someone your undivided attention? How does it feel to receive undivided attention? So that's 2 minutes. I want you to thank your partner for witnessing you by giving them a hug or by giving them. Okay. So, how was that for everybody? Who felt uncomfortable? Who felt vulnerable? Yeah. I love that. Who felt seen? Who felt seen? Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So the next exercise is on the other side of the page there. My target audience. Oh, wait. Ooh. Yes. Sorry. No, we skipped a page here. Is what differentiates me and how do others describe me? So that's going to be the next, is build your brand. So pick between the two of you guys, who's number one and who's number two. So if you're number one, raise your hand. Okay. So one of you is number one and another person's number two. So number two, I want you to ask number one these questions. What differentiates you? Number two is going to ask number one, how do people describe you? Okay. Number two is going to ask number one, what are you most passionate about? So we're going to give you about 10 minutes to complete all the exercises here, all the questions. Does that make sense? Yes. No.
They vocalize it or they write it?
Yeah, they're going to vocalize it and write it down. Yeah. So who's number one? You're number one. Okay, so number two is going to ask you what.
Am I writing my own answers?
You're going to say it out loud and then write it down. Yeah.
So am I writing about her or she's writing about?
Who's number one?
So she's number one. I'm number,
Number two. Okay, you're going to ask her what differentiates you.
And she's gonna write.
She's going to answer it and write it.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So are you writing about yourself or the other person?
She's asking you, and then you're going to answer it, and then you're going to write it down. Write the answer. So you're instead of asking yourself, she's asking you.
So what differentiates you?
Thank you so much for doing that exercise. Does anybody have any like aha moments or something that they want to share with us, with the group, of who they are? Like what is that one word? What is your style? Who wants to share?
Just one word.
Self. Well, you could give me a sentence if you were able to finish the sentence. Does anybody want to share? Otherwise, I'll start calling on people.
I'll say one.
Okay.
Connecting with others from different cultures.
Yeah, with others in different cultures. So you would create a brand out of that, or create maybe like that's just one example, but it could be an overarching like one word or theme, like a connector, for example, connector, right? Yes.
I'm strong and warrior.
Warrior?
Yeah.
Warrior. Warrior. Love that. Okay. So then what you would do is from, like there's more pages to the workbook, but we're just running out of time, is writing out what does the warrior feel like in you? Like sit with that strength. I mean, part of this business, confidence.
Finally.
And thinking about how does this affect your clients, right? When you're building your brand style and your elevator pitch. Anybody else? Perseverance. Okay. And as you guys are naming yourself, what color does connection? Is that yellow? Is that blue? Is warrior like red or black or, whatever color that resonates with you. Anybody else can share their style?
It's orange.
Orange. Yours is orange.
Dark orange.
Yeah.
Going for royal blue, actually.
Did you get to that part? No.
Is it number 3 or which one?
We're just naming like the other page there, your style.
Oh, my style.
Yeah, this one here, that one there.
Oh, I didn't get
What's
to
your
that.
style? Service. Your style is service. So you would use the word service in your like branding guideline, in your branding statement.
I would say creative.
Creative. Okay. Anybody else? Champion. Champion. Connie. Educator.
It's interesting. I find myself in that connecting realm, and that's the way I've always been. But my desire is now to be more an educator, kind of asserting my authority. Wanting to make a relationship and a connection with somebody who can be a friend, but how do you push past that and now become the authority?
Right, to take you seriously, right, in the business. Yeah, absolutely. Very good one, yeah. And that's why, like, my brand has changed many times. Like, I probably have like 4 different logos if you were to look back in all my materials. Anybody else? Collaborator, yeah. So the next exercise, which you can take home, and you can even like throw it out at me on your own time, is the very last page where it says the brand statement on the opposite side of the books. I've kind of given you some prompts based on all the exercises and questions that were given to you today. You can take your time to fill in the blanks there, and that will end up being your brand statement. And then from there, you can create your brand style, your colors, your fonts, your personality, your photos that go along with it. So feel free you could fill it in now if you want, or this is kind of on your own time when you have a little bit more time to digest this information. And I'm happy to, even if you want to send it over to me, just text it to me and we can like just chat a little bit if you want to clean it up a little bit or expand on that statement as well. Does anybody have any questions after this exercise?
I think you need to do a full day workshop with us.
Yeah. We'll be crying a lot more actually. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused. We want, at the end of the day, we want to do some real estate stuff. Before having as a new agent, before having any lead, how we can make a brand?
Okay,
How
so
to start,
yeah. Her question is, she's brand new. How does she create a brand without doing any business yet? Because no matter, like in life, no matter who you are, you're just showing up as you are. It doesn't matter if you're selling or it's just being around people in general. The brand is supposed to exude who you are in general. I mean, Christine, can you like answer that as well? She's my marketing director and she's my branding specialist as well. I put her on the spot.
Yeah, I guess like what do people see as your strength? So something like you're super organized. Like I would want to pick you as my realtor because I know you're really organized. Or you in your spare time, like you're a great decorator, so you could help like stage my house or just things like that, I guess.
Yeah, just pick on your strengths. And you can see like none of the questions here had anything to do with real estate. It just had to do with who you are, as you are. what's already within you.
Thank you.
Brand is kind of like your soul. People will be attracted to
Yeah.
you and how you are and how you exude that.
Yeah.
So even though you're new, there's some people in your life that are going to allow it. Once you have to show the confidence in yourself, then you're like, oh, what we've got into this process. So really
I have a question.
here, and then you'll look to attract people.
Yeah.
Asking other people in your life as well, this question about what do they see you, what do they see as your strengths? Asking them the questions, because they often give us answers that we don't think about. And then because you already have your brand, you just have to discover it. It's already there.
It's
Your
already
brand is
there. Yeah.
You just have to discover it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to rewrite my LinkedIn profile like a couple years ago. So my coach actually told me to go to 3 friends, 3 coworkers, and 3 like authoritative people and give me adjectives, up to 5 adjectives. And I saw like a pattern in all of them, and that's how I wrote my bio. It wasn't ChatGPT, so it was me that wrote it. It was real answers. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to offer my service to you by, if you want to fill in that very last couple of prompts, write in your elevator pitch, write in your brand statement, feel free to send it to me. I'm happy to review it, explore it with you. And that's, my service to you. So I'm happy to do that. One last thing before we go. Thank you so much for joining, but don't forget to also tag, when you tag Woo and Oakwin, to also maybe add the link in your story if you can. And we're just obviously raising money for the BC Women's Health Foundation. And throughout the year, there's going to be a few more seminars hosted by Kim, and who else is hosting as well?
Mary Tess.
Medina, Meritas. Yeah, so look out for those of the emails.
And now high. For the rest of us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Is there a closing statement at all? No? No, that was it? Okay. Thanks, you guys. Oh, yes.
Yes, it is very important to give back, even if it's like $3. There, that little QR code. We want to keep these Woo shops going for year after year, so this is our way of doing that as well.
It's our way of giving back to our community, and we have a big lofty goal, $50,000 this year is kind of where we want to try to raise for BC's women's health to make an impact. So let's do it! Yeah! Okay, guys.
I'll pass this around. All right. Your release.
Service.